Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and as always, that's dependent on when you're watching the program. My name is Dr. Eric B., and I'd like to welcome you to my channel, Practical Dreamers, Change the World. The name of this show is 3 Good Minutes. Last time I was with you, I shared with you the idea of how to use a book that you got when you were in kindergarten to start collecting ideas that you would be able to use years into the future. Of course, that was brought to my attention by one of the students that I was training about 15 years ago to help him begin to understand how he could be successful in an academic environment. But just to add to the idea of what you could do with this in school, you should note that in this particular book that I'm holding in my hand, I also have documentations about different meetings that I had and the things that I learned after I completed my formal education and began to grow as a professional. But what I'd like to talk to you about today is the idea of what kind of information should you put in this book. So what should be there when you open it? So I open this book and right away I start to look and I see that I dated it. So I gave an idea of what I was thinking on, in this instance, it says January 16th, 2008. And what I was doing was working on my daily charges and my desired accomplishments. In this case, I was designing a strategic plan. I was blocking out dates for meetings that I could create information sessions for students, etc. Sort of like what it is that we're doing now. Now that we've got an idea, that we've got the date, we've got notes that we're taking perhaps in meetings, we've got the titles of books, of television programs, of websites, of links that we've got in these books so that we can go back to in the future when we're trying to help someone else get information that's going to be useful for their own development. We can collect this for years and, more importantly, share it across our educational and professional background. Then I'd like to throw something else at you to think about in terms of that book. We're going through a serious transformation in higher education now. As we go through this transformation, here's a book that you might want to consider reading, as I'm already 10 years into the future thinking about what kind of changes are coming in the next 10 years. And the changes are exciting, particularly for those of us who are first generation students. If we can get access to the kind of information about note-taking, about interaction with the professors, about being comfortable participating in out-of-class experiences that are unique and different. If we can be comfortable with the idea that being away from our parents doesn't mean we have absolute freedom to forget the things that they taught us. So come back, spend time with me next week, and we'll go deeper into some of the things we can expect in the higher educational environment and how we can be successful in it.